7 o'clock, saying the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do roll call. Ben Hunt.
Here.
Dan Van Buren.
Here.
Jeff Corpenny.
Here. There's one guest speaker tonight.
Me.
Go ahead.
We're having the egg hunt this in April for the kids, and we need help. Need people to help, and we need see if we're asking for $150 to purchase the candy and eggs and stuff like that we had last year. To do similar to last year.
Have you picked a date? Which you guys want to hear?
April 4th.
April 4th. Pretty much it's kind of the same thing as we've done last year.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I think it's a pretty positive thing for the community. It brings a lot of kids out. So, if you guys are willing to take charge of that,
But we'll definitely need help from you
Sure.
guys as well as anybody in the community that can come and help.
sure. Trying to fill an eggs before and then during the event. So absolutely, definitely. If we go ahead and allocate the money to that, what do you want us to just towards the Easter egg event? That's fine. All right. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and allocate $150 towards the 2015 Easter egg hunt.
I'll second.
Roll call. Ben.
Hang on a second, under discussion, is this through the Friends of Bowling Green Township
Friends of
501c3?
Bowling Green Township, no.
It's just a,
We are not.
a
We
group,
are the community.
okay. And last year, if I recall, you took donations and that money, that seed money did come back or didn't it?
We couldn't tell you. We're not with Friends of Bowling Green. Friends of Bowling Green did it last year.
I know
Okay.
there were donations last year, but that'll answer.
Well, Jenny
part of that.
would know, was there,
I don't know, nobody.
there's no money turned in back in?
There was money that Dawn gave me from the senior citizens, but as far as I know,
I don't know what was spent last
We
year.
didn't collect any donations.
but I
No,
guess the
they're
senior
like
citizens had a
Kroger's
big
had
sale or
pledged.
something.
Right, senior citizens did. We
That was
collected no
$186.
money at all from anyone.
No, like Kroger's had pledged like $20 towards the event. I know that. And I know there were some residents that had pledged some,
Yeah.
the purchases
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, there were some donations that were given. But
What
as
was
far
the
as money that was donated back to the township, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
But if we don't use it, you'll be getting it back.
right.
So we don't know what the total cost was last year? Through the other Friends of Bowling Green deal last year, wasn't
They
it?
spent
The
the
150.
150, or,
I don't know. I know we had set aside the 150,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what was spent.
yeah, they spent, I think it was slightly less than that.
Well, the concern I have is, I guess we've got two different friends groups now.
No.
One
no,
of-
We're just a group from the community doing community events.
If we set a precedence like this, that's the only thing. If we do it for one group, if someone else wants
I
to do it.
think, and I'll speak for them, I
Yeah.
think they've coordinated together, and you guys agreed that you would just,
Correct.
take charge of the event.
Correct,
So I
we
don't-
talked to a individual from the Friends of Bowling Green, they are not gonna do it. We have to have a Easter egg hunt, we've had one since I've been here, and as long as I'm here, it'll go on, and I would say a lot of other residents feel the same.
So we don't really, the cost is $150 at the max then. It's not gonna cost any more than that.
Not from the township.
I don't have any more on that.
Roll call vote, Ben,
Yes,
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a tentative date when you want to fill eggs or anything like that?
We want to fill the eggs the Friday before, so that would be the 3rd. Easter's the 5th.
Still eggs on Friday the 3rd. You have time?
6,
Friday 3rd at 6?
6 in the evening.
Okay, you don't need to be here or there, whatever.
Yeah.
One or two. So, okay.
Well,
Anyway,
it'll be over in the other building, because that's where we have all the recycled eggs from last year. We did collect last year, all the eggs back, because I collected a lot of eggs from my church, because we don't do the egg hunt anymore.
yeah,
So to help with the event and make it better, I collected all their eggs and we're using them.
awesome.
And we had the kids give them back.
Right.
So we did the same thing this past year, which saves everybody money.
Sure.
We will have hot dogs again.
One thing, did you check with Dawn, make sure it wasn't rented out that day?
He said it was open.
Okay, just make sure it was open.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Do you guys want to put it in the paper? Do you want Jenny to put it in the paper?
I was gonna get with you on that, on how to put it in the paper, because it is for Bowling Green Township. And it's not a private event, it's a township event, isn't it? I mean, we've always done it, what would you call it?
Instead of paying the advertiser?
The community thing.
Yeah.
If we do it,
Or the
well,
advocate, I mean.
if
Did
we
you put it
do
in
on
last
the
year?
calendar, I think they don't charge you. If you put it under the calendar.
Calendar event, then I can take care of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think, check and see.
Okay,
But
I will call.
I think if you put it in the calendar section, they don't charge for that.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Awesome.
I know the Buckeye Lake, the Buckeye Beacon, they'll put it in for no cost.
Sure.
What's the times for the egg hunt? Do you know?
It's gonna be the same as last year, which sign-in is 11.
Awesome. Good. Very good. Thank you. Any other guest speakers? Correspondence. I don't think I have anything under correspondence. No, one thing I did, I guess, we put under correspondence was, the township had coordinated with the National Trail Fire Department and applied for a grant for new radios. This was months ago. They had to have a host township, so they used us. The township received the grant for the fire department, which was $24,000 something dollars. They've already received the radios. Here's an invoice that I received from the chief of the fire department, so I'm gonna give that to Jenny. You already received the money, correct? The
Yes.
invoice is for $22,785. The balance of the money that's gonna be left will be user fees. There's a yearly user fee cost with that, so that'll just be held until that user fees are due. So that's all I had in correspondence. You have anything?
I do. I did receive an email back from Misty Baird saying that she wants to be on the zoning commission board. I also have that on the agenda for later. Did you guys all get the thing from the Licking County Planning Development about the Licking County Planning and Development Department is beginning the process of developing a list of projects to consider for the Community Development Block Grant. Did everybody get that?
I think I did.
When's it dated? Just last month?
February 5th. There's a meeting on Thursday, March 5th from 2 to 4. The goal of the meeting is it's at the administration building in the basement. The goal of the meeting is to share information about the grant loan funding and to develop a list of 10 potential projects that will be prioritized and considered for the funding year 2015-2016. We also have a tentative agenda in here.
What kind of projects are they kind of gearing towards? Is it
It's anticipated that Licking County will receive around $200,000 allocated funds to conduct projects such as replacing curbs and sidewalks, installing storm sewers, upgrading water and sewer facilities, improving recreational facilities, repairing homes, or conducting economic development activities. All it is here if you guys want to check it out further, but that meeting again is March 5th. March 5th from 2 to 4. It's a Thursday. There's some more information in there too if you want to look at it. I didn't put this on, forgot to put this on the agenda. Did you, Ben, get a call from a guy about right-of-ways on Mount Hope from AT&T?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we did.
Okay. We have that if,
Could you get me a copy of that? I had a phone call on it, but I didn't see any paperwork. Maybe that's not the same thing. That's from who?
it's from AT&T.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that at all.
From an application for right-of-ways, or installing, or burying fiber cable in conduit on the right-of-way of Mount Hope.
No, I don't know about that.
So they haven't done the work yet?
I
they
think they're
wanna-
going down Guttridge too.
They wanted a
Or maybe
permit.
they're gonna put it on the poles and going down Guttridge.
Sure he's gonna do it in conduit, so he's gonna bury it.
Is this a residence request that came through, or?
No, it's a company that is taking care of the fiber optic line.
You see, they're gonna come up Mount Hope for a little ways on poles,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna bury it the rest of the way.
That's what he said. He said
Yeah.
that he uses
not
the
gonna be
poles
buried
as
all
much
the
as
way, yeah.
possible.
And they're gonna go over to Shelley Road with it.
They're down Guttridge to that tower.
Okay. So we need to approve it?
Yeah, they're asking for approval for them to do that. I think everybody got the annual report from the health department. I'll leave that here in case you didn't. Notice from the Licking County Board of Elections saying there will not be an election held at our facility on May 5th. Letter from Big O about the switch from waste management, or to waste management, which I think I have. I didn't put that on there either, but I have that printed out. The assignment thing that we need to sign. That's all of my communications.
We've presented several drafts tonight. Do you have all of them here? Or I'm looking for the last month's and the hearing that was held. Is there one here for that?
The hearing I have already done,
Okay.
and last month would have been January. I should be there January 27th, I think.
This is what they have on this, for those lines. On part of Mount Hope, it's buried approximately 14 feet from the center line of the road, buried at 30 to 36 inches deep. And they want to place two 30 by 48 by 36 HH, which must be like the above ground boxes, I would assume.
We request to have somebody up there to see where it is, 'cause that's where we get a couple of them on the
Sure.
line.
Sure,
They don't even, they put them on the ground.
Says they want to replace those approximately 800 feet from either end for future use and to minimize equipment damage along the path. The only thing I don't know about that is,
They're gonna put that on the left-hand side there, wouldn't they?
They got flags on both sides.
it shows it on
Damn it.
on the right
Down
side.
in there,
Uh-huh.
Laurel Hill, we got that flag on both sides of that.
Oh, okay.
When are they wanting to do this?
When I talked to him on the phone, he made it sound like he needed
Out
to
to where that
get
red
it
wanna
done
house,
as
start
soon as
this month.
possible,
in that
yeah.
flat section, a big red house looks like barn, right?
Yeah.
They're going to there. From Perry County up, they're going to the pole.
We ought to have some out.
The way the map shows on here, it shows aerial on Laurel Hill Road. So then if you were coming north on Mount Hope towards 40, they're going to put it on the west side of the road. That's what this shows.
That's what he told me, it's gonna be on
Yeah,
the,
the west side.
yeah.
So,
So I told him it's gotta be deep enough, cause we we get them lines going up there on,
They gotta run through the culvert down on the lower end of that, remember?
yeah.
Right through the middle of the culvert.
The only thing I don't know about that is, when Mr. Payne had lived there in that farmhouse, he wanted to know the right of way through there, so I called and asked about a right of way. And through some of that, it's just ditch line to ditch line, so if they want to go 14 feet from the center line of the road, that's not the right of way.
I don't know, unless they check with the engineer's office. I told them to check with the engineer's office.
I just don't want to be responsible for telling them they can't, it's
Yeah.
not. If they go 30 to 36 inches, we're not gonna dig any deeper than that.
No.
How deep's that one supposed to be out there now? It's supposed to be 24. It's on top of the ground.
Yeah, well, that's a telephone company.
And we're running up through there to that, there's fiber optic.
Yeah, that's what I told them. I said, we hit a rig grader ditch.
I hit it with a 10 more on the occasion, because I was sticking on top of the ground.
Said they'd like to start, proposed construction date was February 23rd. Anybody yesterday? Said they complete within 90 days.
I told him no, it would be at this meeting, so, I mean,
Says AT&T Ohio to place 3,000 plus feet of buried fiber cable and conduit 14 feet from the center line of the road with 2 hand-hole measurements 5 to 6 feet from the edge of the road, approximately 800 feet from the beginning and the end of the trenching. Bore under any paved driveways and place a fiber optic and 2-inch PVC conduit. So they flag traffic and all that when they do it. I don't have a problem with doing it. If they go that deep, it just, I don't want to tell them that's the right of way, it might not be. But you spoke with them and told them to talk to the engineer.
Yeah, I told them, said they was in that county talking with them.
That's fine. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve to allow AT&T to do the work that they want to do on Mount Hope.
And I'll second.
The only thing is, I'd like Jack said, if we could go out and visit them when they're
Yeah.
doing it, just make sure that they're very
See that?
healthy.
Yeah, we'll see when you, maybe they ought to let us trustees know when they're gonna be doing it, so we can stop by and inspect it now and then.
Who you talk to? We talk to the guy? Are you just gonna mail it back, or?
there's no money, I can call them, tell them we want to know. Are we ready for roll call?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ben,
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yeah, I'd like a copy of that still, thanks.
Just keep a copy of it. We'll stay on those days roads that deep. Can we go through that? That's fine.
You don't have any idea at all on time frame right now?
Said they wanted to start yesterday and be done within 90 days. I doubt it with the weather.
yeah,
I don't know. But I don't know.
Might just put a note on it when we send back to get a hold of us trustees.
Check. Is that it?
That's all I have for now.
Dan, you have anything? Jeff, you have any correspondence?
I think she covered most of it here, except,
I need
the
to
last
send this to
meeting.
Jennifer, no. Okay.
at the last meeting, Jenny had brought this to the board. Today I received again, and looks like the same thing, certified mail from Patty Volan. It looks like the same exact thing we got before, with the exception of the different colored paper on a handwritten note, and the date's January 21st. So I assume everybody knows what this is. Within this letter, she has concerns about the hearing that removed her, and she also had requested in there some information. So I see you've got meeting minutes here. I move that Patty Bowen be sent a copy of the minutes, because it looks like that's what she's asking for primarily. She wants documentation of, you've read this, right?
Well, I never got a certified letter, but
Okay, well, same one that
yeah,
she brought here. So I move that we send Patty Bowen what she's requesting, which amounts to I haven't had a chance to read your meeting minutes, but I'll move that we send her a copy of the meeting minutes from her
What is
hearing.
she requesting in there?
I'll read what it says.
You don't have to read the whole thing. Ask.
just what she
Okay,
requested.
well-
I believe she was requesting a letter
Sent to
for the
Ross.
reasons why she was removed.
To the Board of Trustees, Bowling Green Township, I'm requesting a new hearing about my removal from the Board of Zoning Appeals for the following reasons. Number one, she says she was not legally notified of the meeting for ORC 51913 and ORC 51904. Says I received a phone call from a friend telling me, quote, the zoning inspector wanted me kicked out of office, unquote. I did not receive a letter telling me that what charges the zoning inspector filed, nor have I seen a copy of her charges. Enclosed is a copy of the letter the fiscal officer sent to all members of the BZA. That wasn't included with the one she sent here, but it was included with the one that you got and sent and gave us. You will notice there are no charges listed, and the letter does not even state that the meeting is about removal from office. There is nothing about a hearing as required by law. ORC 51904 clearly states, quote, ... and after a copy of the charges has been served upon the member so charged at least 10 days prior to the hearing, comma, ... unquote. Number two, as per ORC 51916, I requested the fiscal officer act as a recording secretary for the public hearing October 30th, 2014. Since the tape recorder was left at the meeting room for the BZA to use and be immediately returned to the fiscal officer, it was clear indication she intended to act as secretary for the BZA. I am requesting a new hearing with a letter stating what charges were brought against me so I can defend my position. And the other two pages, she has ORC 51913, 51904, and pieces of our zoning 5.5 and 5.25. And I don't think the board needs to create a letter stating anything. That's why I move that we send her a copy of the meeting minutes. And I'll extend that to actually say, and a copy of the audio of the meeting, if that's something you can do. But you probably need to send her a copy of the hearing as well. Even though I know she was here, but that she's asking for that information, and she certainly should have it.
She was notified by mail, though, wasn't she?
Yes, it just wasn't certified. And she says she didn't get the letter, so.
I just think it shows due diligence if we just send her what information that's available. I know she was here.
Minutes, I don't think that's what she's asking for. She wants a copy of the letter that.
If you think,
of the letter. that-
well, there's a copy of there is a letter, isn't there? From the zoning inspector? The letter that was sent, she's not referencing the letter she sent us. There's a copy here of the letter Jenny sent out. This is on the, no, it's on this one. It's the same thing, but this one had it
I
attached.
still don't think that's what she's asking.
Well, if you don't think so, I guess we don't have to take any action then. But I think it was on this one. Yeah, here's a copy of your letter right here. It's dated December 1st. And she references it. She did get this, so that's not the letter she would want. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to.
It's been overdone, so it's under 5 months.
It's just if she feels like she,
I can do it, but
It doesn't. take notes off of it. Don't talk while you're saying something, meeting minutes.
If we do it by motion, it just shows that, tried to do
Can I
our due
clarify
diligence.
something? The zoning inspector did not give you no letter. It was in my report. You all have a copy of it. No letter was given from the zoning inspector.
I think you should send her everything. I mean, there was a letter from the Swords, wasn't there? Send her a meeting minute, whatever exists, I think you should probably send it to her. But as far as creating something new, I don't see the reason.
Is that fine? Yeah, no problem with that, send her meeting minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'll second the motion to send her the meeting minutes, and I don't know if I go through the trouble of sending the audio. If she wants that, she can ask for it.
Well, she already should have all the other paperwork. Did you give her copies of everything from the hearing? Does she have copies of that already too?
Of what?
The report and the,
I'm not sure.
okay.
I gave her whatever she requested
Okay.
so far. I mean, and that was all she requested from me was a letter, a copy of the letter.
Well, the meeting minutes weren't even here till tonight, so we need to be a little proactive and just go ahead and send it to her.
Roll call on the motion. Ben,
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yes. And that reads just to send her a copy of the written meeting minutes. Is that how it's?
Yeah.
If you want to send her a copy of the letter from Swords, if she doesn't have that, send that. I don't see a problem there. Do you have any other correspondence?
Falls under stuff later, I think. No, I don't think so. I think it all falls under the other parts of the agenda.
All right, we're on to safety. I think everything's. Thanks.
Safety, another thing we need to do is figure out about a car.
Tire. Yeah, we'll figure something out about that. See what we can figure out.
Everything else is working.
Fire from.
Under safety, Jenny had forwarded me, or actually I think he was over the phone first, John Parker, who just had him contact me. Travis Thompson had wanted a copy of where we were on questions with loss prevention. So I looked back, printed it out, I sent you that carbon copy on that too. But we may be still eligible possibly for discounts just by responding to that, so I made sure it was responded to. And under safety, since it's loss prevention.
Zoning.
February, there was no permits granted. Last month, January, a motion from the trustees is needed to go forward with the West investigation. I was told to contact the prosecuting attorney and have her write up a motion, and she informed me she would send emails out to you and let you, the trustees, know she does not prepare motions, that it's the trustees' job. So we still need a motion for the West investigation, and this is under the court case CD 00335, and the West was, and that date was 1998, and prosecuting attorney would like to move forward with this. They are in violation of that court order. This does deal with the junkyard. Which they've gotten certified letters on. It's been in a 2-year process. Prosecuting attorneys found that this would be a quicker route to go to get them on the violation of a past hearing.
What do you guys think?
You referenced she was gonna contact us specifically about this, about her not doing a resolution. I didn't get an email,
Prosecuting attorney does not make motions for the township trustees.
but I didn't hear from her on that. Did you guys?
I did, and your email was on there.
Specifically about,
It was
the 1990
specifically about the prosecutor's office does not
Yeah.
Make
create,
motions.
oh, okay, I got that
Resolutions.
one.
yeah.
But it wasn't in regards to this 1998 situation.
I think it was just a kind of an open-ended that they don't.
But they do sometimes. It's not completely true that they don't.
She said
They've done
she
it
does
many
not do
times.
it.
They've done it many times in the past. But you also said the prosecuting attorney wants to move forward. Just want, is it,
She would.
She wants to move.
We've asked repeatedly to move forward. This is what she pulled up to make it easier for the township, quicker for the township, less time on the township.
and this is your recommendation too, as well, right?
Yes, we already brought forth and a year ago to move forward with their violation. And that's where she pulled all this out and said, we need a motion to use this. It's the same violation, but it was in 1998. And I gave you copies of that last month. There's also a clause on your report that you have. If you have the,
See, I don't think he's doing auto sales and auto parts business.
no, that, she's not going after all that, it's the junk. And maintaining a junk yard. That's what we got him on violation for before, on the 9.5. The 3.6 and 9.5, operating and maintaining a junkyard. Meaning scrap materials, all kinds of other instances it could be going on. Which you guys had copies of that I gave you before also. And that was on the original that you guys voted to send to him, and I sent certified letter. We did aerial photos. This has been an ongoing thing for over 2 years. The neighbor is still complaining, would like to know what's going on.
I don't know. What do you guys think? He showed me intent that he's cleaned up some of it. I mean, that's
But the
that's
neighbors
all I
are
can
still
say.
complaining about the front area. So he hasn't moved anything, he's been adding to that. If it was back there in the back, where just he looked at it, I don't think anybody would complain. But he's putting it out for the neighbors, for the Collins next door. Have you talked to the Collins?
It's been months, but yes, I spoke with him.
And they still would like to know what's going on.
All that stuff out, tractors and stuff, you can't do nothing about.
Actually, you can. And if you guys would read the stuff I give you, you'd see it. If it's farm equipment that is not being used, and it has sat there for years, which I have proved to you, it has not moved. It is junk. You've seen photos after photos after photos. Year after year, it has not moved. Summer, winter, spring, fall. It's not farm equipment if it's not being used.
What if I had no?
Maybe you should put it off and talk to your prosecuting attorney again.
No, I don't know what to do. What if I had 2 hay rakes One I was working, one I used for parts.
I couldn't answer you that.
Why-
This
I don't-
investigation we've been doing on them, how many years?
I
How many
agree.
years?
I agree.
For 2 years, they've had the letter. The investigation's been going on before that. I've been giving you guys everything. Your residents would like something done. And again, it's not up to me, it's up to you guys.
Sure.
But this is a waste of my time and the residents complaining. And, I mean, you should actually vote out zoning if you guys aren't gonna do anything about the violations that occur. And we really should. You guys have had this in front of you repeated times.
I just have a hard time punishing somebody.
They've been punished before and they're
Listen,
violating
listen.
it.
For making an honest living.
That's
what
not
I have
an
a
honest
problem
living.
with. That's what I have a problem with.
Is it an honest living? Keep putting junk down at the end of the driveway and leaving it there? Is that an honest living? They talk to the neighbors, talk to the investigator, don't just talk to me. I've given you everything you need.
I agree, and I'm not disputing it with you.
But if I have a hard time, you know, it's cut and dry, it's black and white. Is he wrong or not? We've proven it repeatedly.
What do you think, Jeff? Is your opinion on it?
I move that we take no further actions of this 1998 issue.
So again, if we don't do this, then we move forward with the other motion that has been passed. It's one or the other.
What do you mean by that?
We've already made a motion for her to go forward on his violations.
Sure.
Okay? She's got all that.
The roundabout way, but she wanted to go through with this.
She was gonna try to make it easier on everyone by getting him on a violation he's already been caught on. It's already been in court. It even states on there, highlighted, on your paperwork. I highlighted it for you.
What do you think, Dan?
I don't know.
I haven't seen anything directly from the prosecutor, and I don't take your word for that, because when I hear
Then
things
you
like...
should have talked to her when I gave you this last month. Isn't that part of your job also?
I do due diligence when it comes to all these
So then we should
matters.
probably table this until you guys talk to the
I
prosecutor.
moved for a motion, and, I don't know if there's gonna be a second or not, but if not, then I don't know where we go from that, just,
We move forward on the violation that's already been presented through the trustees. And it still will go to court, it'll just take longer.
What do you think?
Let's table it till next meeting, and, because I like to talk to the prosecutor.
I'll second that motion.
You know, talk to him, and,
Is that a motion?
yeah, make a motion. Table.
Are we ready for roll call?
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yes.
Under zoning, do you have anything else under zoning?
You, at the junk car meeting, said you were bringing something forward. Are you doing that at a different time?
And we discussed about the two junk vehicles,
Yeah.
Bowman residents. I tried to make contact, I couldn't make contact.
You said you talked to her. Were you there in person or what?
I stopped at her house, tried to talk to her.
Okay. So were you standing next to these vehicles?
I was.
Are they junk motor vehicles or not?
Are they junk?
Well, that's what this is about. Does it meet the three criteria of junk motor vehicles?
Are the tags outdated? Yes, the tags are outdated on the vehicle. From the truck, I couldn't see the back of the car.
That's not one of the criteria.
It is one of the criteria.
It has to be 3 years older or older, which
It
is probably
is,
easy to
yes.
determine. Number 2, apparently inoperable.
It is.
Number 3 was, I believe has something to do with extensive damage, doesn't it?
And tires, flattened tires,
Okay. Nothing in there
trash
talks,
all around it.
nothing
Yes.
in there talks about tags out of the
Yes,
three
that makes it
criteria.
inoperable. That does make it inoperable.
I-
So that
I don't-
answers that number 2. Yes, it's inoperable. If she put the tags on, it would be operationable. The junk car would disappear, but she's not doing anything. So it's on you guys. Again, Why am I doing this job if we're not gonna follow through with things?
Because you're paid for it, that's why.
But it makes the township look stupid. Because we're not following through on nothing.
I don't agree with that. How many of these have we done that we followed through with?
Right, but now you're at a deadline. We finally
This
got
is
to
the
one
furthest we've
point.
had to go with one of these.
Right.
So that's
What are we
why I
gonna do?
disagree with you to say we don't follow through with it. That's BS.
How many months have we been sitting here on the same one?
2? Okay. 3? Okay, well, let's say 3. Because we've given other people 90 days to remove. How many months is that?
We did,
3.
but they came in and they talked to us.
Okay, 3. So that's
This
the same time
individual
frame.
won't even talk to you. Refuses to take the
I'm not
certified
disputing that.
letters,
I'm not disputing
everything.
that. I tried to go to the residents. I'm not
See?
disputing that at all. You know? I don't know what to do.
I suggested for you to talk to the prosecuting attorney and see what she said.
She's going to say the same thing that you're saying. Or do they appear to be junk motor vehicles?
And you have the copies of the documents I gave you.
What one person might think is a junk motor vehicle, the other person might not.
That's where you should talk to her and see what her opinion is.
The part about tags is a moot point. It
No,
doesn't.
it's not. It makes it inoperable. It's
No,
not a
it
moot
doesn't.
point. It makes it inoperable.
I've never taken tags, putting them on a vehicle that didn't work, and it worked.
If
And
it's
also,
tagged, it
it
takes
doesn't
it out
have
of
to
the
have
three
tags.
category. If it's tagged, it
It
takes it out
doesn't
of the
have
three
to have
category.
tags to own the vehicle. You can take that vehicle and drive it all over your property all day long without tags. So tags is not one of the 3 criteria.
I'm
You
going
have it in
with-
writing what the 3
I'm going
criteria
with the
are.
paperwork that was given to me, that I've given to you repeatedly, and you've never said anything until now. We've had junk car meetings. You have not said anything at those junk car
These
meetings.
discussions about
There we
tags came up at the last junk car
And
meeting.
you didn't say anything.
I certainly did.
You did not.
That's where you were saying, you were making these claims about it.
Again, I would talk to prosecuting attorney, or
So
we
the
can
next
just
step,
cut
so the
this
next
whole thing
step is to
off.
have these vehicles removed.
The next step is you've got to send her a letter. Of course, you got to get with the prosecuting attorney
Sure.
for the official legal letter to send her. So you still need to get with her.
I'll make a motion, we no further action on the pickup truck, on the white truck. For
Okay?
the car, I'd like to move forward with that.
Okay.
Does it appear to be inoperable and junk motor vehicle? Yes. To me, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that you stated is that one of them was partially covered. Is it partially covered? Is it covered completely? Is it, what's the update on
You
that?
didn't want to ask me that at the junk car meeting?
I did. That's where I got the information.
And it's still partially covered. If you drive over there and look, you can see. You're allowed to do that as a trustee.
So your motion is what, Ben?
To take no further action on the pickup truck, the white pickup truck.
Can we do that as a separate motion,
Sure.
as opposed to putting them both together? I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Ben,
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yes.
You want to make a motion to move forward with the car?
No.
I'll make a
Car's
motion.
been sitting there longer.
Yeah, I'll make a
than
motion that we go ahead and proceed forward with the green, teal, blue colored car.
No, second.
Okay, under discussion on that, we already said this, but I'm going to say it again. Since you were standing right there, do you feel like it meets the 3 criteria of a junk motor vehicle under the ordinance that you're using here under ORC?
Is it more than 3 years old? Yes. Does it appear inoperable? Yes. What's the other one?
Apparently not. Do you have that with you, the actual ORC, so we could get the exact verbiage? Because I know it doesn't say.
But I don't understand, this is not a junk car meeting, and
Right.
this is why
Well,
we do
we-
special meeting.
Well,
Well,
this way.
at the junk car meeting, which is a regular meeting now, not a special meeting, we had a motion to do it here. And you had also mentioned that through the winter, you weren't gonna have those, you didn't wanna have those meetings anymore. So that's why it's
We
on the
didn't say we
agenda.
didn't want to have those meetings anymore.
It should have been on the agenda.
Yep,
Through the winter, you didn't wanna do it.
I didn't say we
Okay.
didn't want to do them anymore.
Okay, well, I'm not here to debate with you. I'm
I'm
telling
not
you.
either, because I never made that statement.
The reason we're discussing it tonight is because we had a motion at that meeting, and there weren't gonna be junk car meetings for several months. That's why it's here, and that's why we're
That's not what
discussing
you
it.
said, though.
That's not
And
what
it
you
was-
said.
Okay, well,
Well,
you can pick at bones all you want. The fact is,
well, you're a bone picker,
it should
come
have
on. Come on, Jeff, double standards,
we're
come
trying to
on.
discuss it now, and what are you doing?
What kind of discussion? You're trying to put words in my
You
mouth.
guys
No.
talk about Patty Bowen.
It was supposed to be on the agenda, wasn't it, Jen?
Glass up, it's blowing out in the road, and people was running over.
If we
3
get back to where
years.
we were.
Model,
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
3 years older. It's a 3 model years old or older, exact.
Yes.
Apparently inoperable.
Yes.
Extensive damage, including but not limited to any of the following: missing tires, wheels, engine, transmission.
That I don't know that. I went to the front door.
You won't know that.
Right, and
And
I
the
went
only way you know that is when it goes and they say, when the prosecuting attorney sends a letter and says for them to prove, this is where your next step comes.
Okay.
We cannot look under their hood. That's why you have an investigator, look at it, take photos, give it to you.
Okay. Well, I made a motion that we go ahead and move forward with that.
Van seconded the motion. Are we ready for roll call?
Yep.
Ben?
Yes.
Dan?
Yeah.
Jeff?
No.
All right. Did you have anything else under zoning? Is that it?
Thank God that's
That's
it.
it.
I have something.
Go ahead.
Oh, under zoning?
Yeah.
I talked to Robert Saylor today. I tried to get a hold of him several times last week, but I finally talked to him today, and he still would like to be the chair of the zoning commission, and I need to talk to the rest of the zoning board, but he said Monday night or Tuesday night would work for him, so that's what I'm shooting for, and once we decide, I will let you know. I have to contact the rest of the
You
board.
mean to set for a meeting up?
Yes.
Well, you had reported that,
Yes, Misty Baird is interested in the zoning commission, and that was the only person that I heard from.
okay.
Dude, how many openings are there? I don't know.
We have 2 alternate zoning commission positions open, and we have, on the appeals board, we have 1 regular and 1 alternate.
And she wanted to be on commission.
She wanted to be on commission.
I move that Misty Baird be put on zoning commission as an alternate, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
She's going to be running for fiscal officer, that's why she wants to get involved. Misty Baird, yes.
Is there a second to the motion?
She wants to be on zoning.
Okay.
No second to that motion. I wanted to report that I did talk with Mike Zinsmeister, and he said he didn't know he was off of the board, and he's still interested in serving, and he said he would be happy to serve on either board as a regular member or as a
And his
alternate.
term just expired.
Yeah.
So,
Whatever.
and that is good experience. He did an excellent job. He was a pretty meticulous secretary. So I
He
think
wanted to be on either or both? What did you say?
he didn't know he was off either. I mean, he has his experience is on the zoning appeals board.
What board did he want to sit on?
He said he would volunteer for any.
For either?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Mike Zinsmeister to the alternate position for the zoning board, and then you have a regular position for the appeals.
You can put them on both boards.
Sure. If he wants to.
I don't. Wait a minute. Are they both alternate positions, or wait a minute? One of them's a regular position.
There's 1 each open on zoning appeals, and there's 2 alternate on zoning commission.
I don't think you want to appoint the same person to 2 things.
What's
And the
one?
reason why is if they're an alternate, because alternates are voting alternates if they don't have 5 regular members. So I just don't think that's.
What board did he want to sit on? What's his preference?
Well, like I say, he didn't even know he was taken off the board, so appeals would make the most sense. You have an alternate position there, you have a regular position there, and you have 2 on the zoning commission. So, you know, you make the call. I
You don't
just
think they sit on both boards?
think it complicates
I don't
things.
think so.
Okay, well then I'll retract that motion. But I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Mike Zinsmeister to a permanent position on the zoning appeals board.
No, second.
Okay, for discussion, then that's still gonna give us 3 open positions between the 2 boards, counting alternates, right?
They'd be all positions.
So that's filling our appeals board except for 1 alternate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call, Ben,
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yes. Now, are you gonna contact,
Is Dave here? Skinner?
do you have do you have
Yes.
Zinsmeister's contact info?
Probably,
So you're gonna let him know?
yeah.
So this Dave, has he not communicated with you yet about having a meeting or?
No, I think he was waiting to see if we got any more people on the board.
Oh, okay, well,
But I'll contact Dave and let him know that, Yeah.
but you can get him in contact with Mike too.
yeah.
So where are we gonna, how are we gonna handle the other
Well,
3 openings?
they're just alternate positions. Can't
Okay.
force people to do it.
Well, you didn't want it, we had it,
Would
we
anybody
put it out
here,
in the paper and somebody responded and you don't wanna have that person for whatever
would
reason.
anybody here like to be on the zoning board or the zoning appeals board as an alternate? Anybody? No. We tried.
She would like you to explain what it is.
I'll explain the zoning appeals to you.
You can't explain zoning commission.
You can. The zoning appeals, if somebody wants to appeal zoning, I mean, if,
Do
like,
something outside the resolution.
right, like, we have a 5-acre minimum to build out in the agricultural district, not in town. You know, so if somebody has 4 acres they want to build, they would file an appeal. So that would come to you. There's a list of criteria that you would look at, you know, rules that you have to go by to do that. So, I mean, it's not a big hard.
But just for clarification, the boards are full, we just don't have 3 of the 4 total alternates. Right.
And they're all,
It's only
it's only a
look over the zoning and see if there's anything that needs changed, updated.
Yeah, and it's an alternate, it's only if the main ones aren't there, then we would have to step in.
On your list there, who did you have listed as alternates before?
Right. We have an interest in an alternate for zoning appeals.
I don't know.
I just wanted to make sure that there aren't any alternates that weren't overlooked,
The
that
only
shouldn't have been
alternate we
taken.
have left on the list is Dustin Jennings.
Okay, he's the one of the 4 that we do have.
Yes.
Okay.
What do we have?
We have an interest for
She's gonna be zoning appeals.
an alternate for the zoning appeals board. State her name.
What's your name?
Judy Cottrell.
Judy what?
Cottrell, Cottrill. Whatever he is.
Is that a motion you made?
No, we just had some interest, but I'll make a motion that we appoint Judy Cottrell to the zoning appeals commission as an alternate.
And I'll second it.
Just under discussion, just want to make sure that you currently live in the township,
I do.
because that is a requirement under the laws.
Ben,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes,
Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you. Now, just to clarify, that leaves us with 1 in each, right?
Yes.
Chipping away at it. Anybody else? Over here? No? Okay.
Anybody want to take over zoning commission clerk?
Well, that's something that, oh, that's your job, okay.
No.
I was thinking, because
Not her job.
usually, well, that's her, she's been doing it.
Right.
And when these boards meet, they currently have a president, they don't have a vice president on Bob's board. That was Gary Stepp, and you guys removed him.
On what board?
Zoning board?
The commission?
Yeah,
We do have a chair.
no, I said vice chair.
No.
But you removed that person. What I'm getting at
I
is
think
when the
their term was
boards
up. Their
meet,
term was up, we just never,
Yeah.
it would be nice to,
we didn't remove them, their term was up, so then, yeah.
I already told you I'm not gonna,
He kinda removed himself.
well, that's not how we've done it in the past. Generally, if somebody's time is up, we've asked them if they wanted to continue or
Anyway, I think
not.
we're done with that.
Alright, so we're gonna move
Just because
forward.
Question.
you have to be removed, but technically before
Has he
you're off of it.
volunteered to be back on
So,
it?
You know, months ago, it was brought up about changes for the zoning. Are we ever gonna have the board get together to do those
I
changes?
just said that.
I didn't hear you.
I talked to Robert today.
Uh-huh.
Monday or Tuesday, we'll be having a meeting. I need to talk to the rest of the zoning commission members.
This coming Monday or Tuesday?
Yes.
Not, yeah, this coming. Is it 10 days?
It doesn't have to be 10
Okay.
days, it's just a meeting.
Because don't you have to put it in the paper?
Yeah, but that only is
No, you
24
put it
hours.
on the door, costs too much that paper.
so you're
We
looking
haven't done
at
that yet.
next
Okay.
Monday or Tuesday evening?
So Monday or
Yes.
Tuesday?
What do you mean you didn't do it? I thought you just did that.
We haven't done that yet.
Well, you ought to be doing it to save the money.
It's on the
Jenny,
list.
could you send me an email or give me a call on which day it is, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Preferably not. What is the date of Monday and Tuesday?
So that's in Bob
What
Saylor's
is the
hands
date
at
of
this
Tuesday?
point.
Second, third, I
Okay.
think, or third and fourth.
See, the third can't do, no,
Why?
because I have something I have to do and I should be at the meetings.
That's not a requirement.
I didn't say that, did I?
I did.
I should be at the meetings to know what's going on too,
Okay.
because it does deal with zoning.
Try to make it all work, right?
Yeah.
Would be nice.
That's in Bob's hands right now then?
It's
Again,
actually
would
in
be
mine
nice.
because I told him
Smarty
I would call the
pants.
other board members to see which day worked for them.
Alright. We'll move on to unfinished business. Let's take a couple off the list here and then a couple other things. Advertising for special meetings, we've talked about that. Not having to run an ad every time that we have a special meeting. I said that I would talk to the prosecutor. She gave me the same answer that was given about her office not drawing up motion. She said that would be up to the board. So I know we discussed this about some other ways to advertise. What do you guys have any other ideas besides putting it on the website and putting it on the door?
And putting it on the door, the website,
And a
it's fine.
sign.
A sign.
I mean, I don't want to list all of them. I think 2 of them would be sufficient. Put it on the sign, it's not hurt it, right?
What do you guys want to do?
I'd like to make a motion that any special meetings that we hold, not including the regular business meeting and the junk car meeting, for the next 24 months, or next years, will be advertised on the township website and/or posted on the door. Does anybody have a problem with that?
You can put it in the free paper out there, and that won't cost you nothing. Leave it with the door. It's $75, $80.
It'll just save us every time we run that,
Store.
would you say
Yeah.
$50 or whatever?
50 or 60 usually, yeah.
Yeah, you could probably just email the Beacon, they put it in when they,
Yeah, I mean, if that's something that we wanted to do, definitely.
I think they charge for those kind of ads, Dan. Easter stuff's a freebie, but I don't think legal ads are free.
oh, okay.
Is there a second to Ben's motion?
Would you have to advertise on the website and/or on the door? I'd also like to put in there within, is there a time frame? We have to do that?
Well, it's 24 hours when you're advertising.
Yeah,
We'll just go by the law.
it's a national organizational
State
meeting.
time, that's fine. I like the way it was.
Go ahead and have the meeting.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll
What
second.
is the motion, please?
Ben made a motion that any special meeting held for the next 2 years, other than regular business meetings and the junk car meetings, will be advertised on the website and/or posted on the door. Dan seconded the motion.
Is that motion going to include that we will not be advertising in the Advocate?
It doesn't mean we can't, it just, this is gonna allow us so we don't have to.
Roll call, Ben,
Yes.
Dan,
Yeah,
Jeff.
Well, under discussion, there's several things that pop up on that. Just because we have a motion like this, and I'm all for advertising, everywhere you can, but legally, we still have certain requirements that we have to do. And I'm not satisfied that motion covers that.
It is, I've talked to prosecutors several times about this, don't take my word for it.
I won't.
But everything that I stated there is sufficiently legal.
What's your vote on the motion? Jeff?
As it reads, my vote's no.
Okay. Zoning board vacancies.
We already did that.
I already covered that. One other thing under unfinished business I had was I'm not gonna take all the credit, but we worked to apply for a grant. It was through the Energy Cooperative, the Operation Roundup grant. We applied for heating and cooling units in both this area here, the meeting room, and also the community building. Operation Roundup through the Energy Cooperative awarded the township a total of $3,000 towards the purchase of one, both, however we want to do it. Spend $3,000. There were some estimates here that were drawn up. We had to send in 2 estimates. They're 2 different companies, obviously. Broke down into different options for units in both buildings. The cheapest option that we had here was, the grant states is $3,000 was awarded us for replacement of furnace only, heating unit only, contingent upon us raising the additional funds needed. The cheapest estimate we had was for this room here for heating. It's actually the units combined, it's heating and cooling, you can't separate it. And it was $3,700. I spoke with the Energy Cooperative, made sure that we could pick one or the other, and then if that would be sufficient for us just to pick this room, and since we can't split that unit up to use that, they said yes. We would have to come up with the other $700 towards the cost of that. We don't have to decide tonight. We have to raise the additional funds by June 30th of 2015. Instead of taking it out of the general fund, I'd like to do something where we could raise the money. Instead of just keep taking out of that. Let's try to do something where we can raise some money. I mean, we don't have to. If we can raise part of it, that'd be great. If we want to move forward with it, we didn't get the whole amount, so we have to come up with something. Worst case scenario, do we have the $700, Jenny, to cover the rest of it? We would have that. How do people feel about that? Do we want to move forward with that and try to raise the rest of the money, or, worst case scenario, we take it out of the general fund. That's worst case scenario.
What's gonna be heater for here?
It'd be in here, yes.
Well, you need one here, one you need there, but we got them.
Right, and it was cheaper in here, so we'd have to raise less funds right now.
Right.
Them 2 of theirs will work.
Yeah.
Jenny, I'd ask, can I get,
Yeah, this is yours. You can take this.
because I asked for audio and also the minutes. Did you have minutes from that meeting? You
The,
have a
I gave
special
this to you
meeting.
already.
does anybody have any questions?
For the
I
special-
I left the audio.
grant.
so-
Okay, it's on that disc that you had here tonight. So I'll move to table that. You said June?
June 30th, we have to let them know by, if we can come up with the rest of the money. So I mean, I think we should table it too, and see if we can't, we don't have to decide tonight, you know, we have time. So, that's everything that was in the grant.
So you're seconding his motion to table?
Mr.
Sure,
Hutt?
yes. Okay, if you have a
Oh,
question.
we're
The
gonna
quotes are
do
here
a
too and everything.
50-50 on our doings, our community buildings, our community doings.
Okay,
We're gonna put a 50-50 out, and we'll put the money of that
for
towards
that,
that.
awesome, good. And anything that we can raise, I mean, is,
Right.
you know, we'll take off that $700 you guys come up with.
Right.
Yeah, I know we have a motion on the floor here. Does anybody have any other ideas how we could raise? I mean, throw something out there if you have something. Good.
You rent table space, we had a big giant yard for this, so
We talked about that, the building's already being, I know, it's already being used. It's already being leased out.
you can rent spaces out front here for like, where they have, you know, food and stuff like that, concessions. Is that public property? Is that a timeline?
It's always been in the past, you know, especially out front here, it's just kind of first come, first served, who wanted to use it, you know. I don't know.
Route 40 brings your most of your people
Sure.
into this area.
Absolutely.
So it would be smart to,
Try to capitalize on that.
yes, exactly.
One thing I thought of, and maybe it's a dumb idea, but I'm gonna throw it out there. If the township wanted to put a couple tables out here, and people wanted to donate a few items, sellable items, you know, I'm sure I could find something, I'm sure everybody could find
I
something.
was thinking
You
the
know.
same thing.
And you put it out there. If 15 people donate something,
Right.
you're gonna raise money.
You got that whole back area back there, blacktop for the basketball thing they don't use.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was an idea. I mean, I'm not saying we have to do that, I'm just saying that was an idea. So.
Concession when you're, because 4-H does,
So Jeff moved to table this and Ben seconded it. Let's do roll call. Ben,
Yes.
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yes,
Yeah.
you don't need this back.
No, that's yours.
doesn't mean you can't keep talking about it. I just wanted
If anybody comes up with any ideas, definitely, I mean, feel free to throw them out there. If people have some ideas, we'll definitely entertain them, so. We like hearing talk, well,
No, I just want to make sure we have roll call.
You got what you needed, Jenny?
We gotta do-
that's all I had under unfinished business. Yeah, okay, we can do that now. We can do that now. Another thing we had under unfinished business was, and I'm sure everybody here is aware of it, but if not, Waste
I don't know if
Management.
everybody's listening.
Waste Management bought out Big O. So, since we had a contract with Big O, now we're gonna have a contract with Waste Management, if we so choose to do. We don't have to.
Nobody showed up.
Isn't our contract good for 3 years though?
Yes.
Right.
Right.
But-
After that?
Yes, and Big O, which is now Waste Management, sent Jenny a letter that stated, correct me if I'm wrong, that they're gonna honor the same contract.
Right.
So it's not gonna go up or anything like that, the same terms, all that kind of stuff, so, it won't change.
Did you, I sent that to you, didn't
No, I talked
I? Yes, I
about
did.
this? Maybe.
Basically just saying Waste Management's taking over the contract.
So what do we actually have to adopt? The consent assignment?
Yeah.
yeah, we can have a lot of information.
Does anybody have any questions with that switch over? I don't know much about it, but I mean, if I can answer anything, we will.
Whichever you talking about, huh?
From Big O to Waste Management.
Yeah, they gotta pick up the trash.
They're gonna pick it up at the same price.
Same price, yeah. I talked to the gentleman that was working for Big O, is now working for Waste Management. I spoke with him today. And he said it's still gonna be on Wednesday, same day. So,
That one brother's starting a new company up, starts 1st of March.
as long as it's not city line, we're all right.
Atkins.
Yeah, I heard that.
I noticed in Granville's paper, their Waste Management said they would send letters out to everybody to let them know what was going on. I presume they're gonna do the same here in Bowling Green.
I don't know, that didn't state that email, I don't think.
I don't think it did.
I don't know, I could find out.
I'm just curious, because I saw,
Sure.
you know, that they were going to do it at Granville Center. The City of Granville staying with Waste Management. The
Yeah.
township, I understand, dropped the contract.
When I talked to the prosecutor, she said there was numerous contracts that were being converted over. She said there was only one that wasn't gonna go with it, but they were also almost ready to rebid the contract, so. What day, are they still picking up same time or same day? And
Early, well, one time they came like about 7:30 maybe.
Yeah.
Then, this week they came like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think.
If Waste Management's taking it over, it'll
It's
be
always
later.
on Monday.
Mondays up there, yeah. Alright, well, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and
Waste Management's doing it.
adopt the consent to assignment. This was drawn up by the prosecutor, correct?
It was actually
No.
drawn up by the trash company.
She made an
But
amendment.
she made one adjustment but approved the rest.
I'm going to request you read that so everybody can
Just
hear it,
the-
because it does affect everybody, the entire, well, they're calling this an assignment from Waste Management. I think everybody should hear it,
You just want the correction read? The whole thing?
the whole thing. Nobody, the public hasn't heard anything. The corrections, this part that's, what, the 5 words at the bottom?
Yeah.
Do people want to hear this? Or we could set it out here and let you see it after the
What
meeting.
is it, Ben?
It's fine. It's the contract
They're
that,
calling it a consent to assignment. It's actually a resolution, because it starts with whereas.
It says
It's
that we're
written by
gonna
Waste
let-
Management.
Waste Management pick up the trash now since they were bought out,
Oh, okay.
since Big O was bought out,
Just a confirmation letter.
pretty much.
It's actually a resolution. Whereas the
Do you guys
township,
want to hear it?
Not really.
No.
No.
whereas the township of,
Jeff, I'm gonna move forward with, that we just go ahead and,
you don't want them to hear the details of this.
if they, I asked everybody sitting in here.
I'd like it at least in the record that it's available.
That's fine, you'll be
So
sitting
you're
on.
gonna sit here for us to look at? then, yeah?
Absolutely.
Are you
Is
gonna
there
put
a
this on the
second to
web?
the motion?
Is it gonna go on the web, or how are people gonna see it if it's in here on the table?
Public record request.
I have read it, so, but I know the public hasn't.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Ben?
Yes.
This, just to clarify, this is with her redaction, or her marked out part on there, as it's presented in that draft or whatever it is.
Yes. Dan?
Yeah.
Jeff?
No,
I think, isn't there a place to sign in or no?
does it have a place for the vote on there?
No.
Witness.
You know, Facebook and,
Oh, yes,
Actually got
Do you
it
have it all?
there, right?
I do.
YouTube?
I can witness.
You know,
Yeah.
okay. Is your husband?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he scares me.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
He wouldn't let
it does sound
funny.
Yes. Let's do it.
That's fine.
We can have items.
We moved, it passed, so we moved forward, we're gonna do it. It has to be notarized, so,
It didn't have any deadline or anything. I believe that it's a done deal already anyway.
yeah, if not, they
It's
can
already,
just not pick up.
it's
Yeah,
a
they just-
continuation of what's already there. That's kind of ex post facto and redundant.
The official document that needs to be signed needs to be notarized, so, I'll take the responsibility of signing it and getting it notarized.
That's fine.
Says it needs notarized?
Says it's gotta be witnessed. And sealed. Yep. I assume that's what that means, right?
What's the words?
Read that. Give me your expert opinion, Jeff. Maybe I'm wrong.
In witness thereof, the parties here to set their hand and seal this the day of 2015. Doesn't say it has to be a notary.
Well, yeah, does be notarized.
If you feel it needs to, then go ahead.
I'll look into it. If it needs notarized, I'll take care of it. Then I'll sign it and send
So
it.
we have a township seal you could use, so it needs sealed.
I haven't seen that thing in how long?
I think inventory says Barb, zoning inspector has it. So if you need it, that's where you get it.
Trash contract. Well, anything else on the unfinished business? Yeah, none. You have anything?
I don't think so.
New business?
Are we going public comment?
That appropriation resolution?
I just need you guys, which I didn't bring in preparation, so we can wait and do that next meeting if you want to, just annual appropriation resolution, accepting the appropriations, but I didn't bring them with me. I forgot to print them out, so we can just wait, I'll just wait and do it next month.
Is that part of it there?
This is the resolution. You can have that, because I'll have to print it.
One thing I had under new business, and I'm
Oh, you
asking
had today's
anybody in
date
here,
on it.
there's a vehicle that sat in front of the park up here by the gate, the entrance to the gate, for more than a month. Does anybody know who that vehicle belongs to? It has not moved in more than 30 days.
In the public parking area?
Yes.
The one that snowed in?
Yes.
I noticed that.
A place on it,
It does.
new tags,
I didn't look at the sticker on, I don't know.
inoperable, so
I don't know.
Couldn't you just contact the
Well-
sheriff and ask him?
I think that's what we'll do is contact State Patrol, Sheriff, and it's an abandoned vehicle, I would
And
assume.
it's on township property?
Will we have to pay to have that towed?
No,
I don't think so.
Well,
have to check out. It could be a stolen vehicle or something up there.
Yeah, just tell them it's been there for a month.
Because it's on government property, I don't believe so.
Bob towed out to his place?
But ask the sheriff.
here, good luck.
Just stop. Alright. Alright. Report. I don't have anything else under new business.
I do. Jeff carries all the boats and stuff down from upstairs, throws them out there, open the door and look. You can carry them down and carry them back and put them back.
I did that.
Well, then you carry them back.
I put the boxes in there.
No, laying on the floor when you open the door.
Oh, I didn't do that. I carried the boxes in there.
Those things have been in there for years.
No, they haven't, Jeff.
Been in
All
there
right,
at
we're
least
gonna
since 2000.
Move on to
2008.
public comment. We have public comment.
Already started, didn't it?
I just want to thank Dan and Ben and township workers for the good job they did plowing snow, sub-zero weather, and early morning, late, they were out there. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Seems like
Very good job.
we've had extra long winter this year. We're working on it. We appreciate it. Anybody else?
You don't want to hear one.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
I move we pay bills.
It ain't good for you.
One trustee never even got his driveway plowed.
No, well,
No, but it's kid back down in front of
That-
it.
yeah. A second to pay bills.
I didn't get it.
What was the situation on this? That was one paper I had saved too, gave me these copies. I noticed it didn't look like there was a check for Detroit again, or what's the
I still have that. I
status?
didn't check it. I have it with me and it's not that far.
What's the status on that, Dan?
I got some receipts from Jenny. I still need to talk to the Ford manufacturing company about it.
Could somebody pull down front?
So you're not circulating that check again? So,
I'm not unless somebody tells me to. I still have it with me. but
did you
I'm not-
find out when it's due or
I
anything?
spoke to Detroit and I told them if we were, I asked if it was okay if we were a couple months late on. I said absolutely. They were upset about the situation.
But that was unclear distance on their part.
Did you talk to, I guess we're gonna talk to Don, did he authorize it?
He said he did.
So you did talk to him?
Yeah.
See, none of us authorized to put ball joints or anything.
and he did a good job when we
One of these days I'll make it over. Alright, see ya. Thanks for coming.
Hey, take her easy.
I'm on fire, say what you got.
I want to send him this way, man, since he's doing something else.
I know, I'm just wondering that. You know, and it's like, I need to move this back.
First check is 4589, Donald W. Watkins, 70733. His timesheet was presented. Check 4580, Jenny Duvall, 17835 for office supplies.
I'm going 35, 40 that night.
Is that all in the same receipt?
13, I already did. I slid right before I got down there, I told him to pay it. I went on down, and right before 13, I started sliding again. Well, you know what? It's time to get off track.
Check 4582, Ohio Public Entity Consortium, 4,632.49. MNCO, $241.40. Legal notices. DNR Communication. This is the Marks Grant National Trails, $22,785. This amount is the exact same amount that we got, right, for the DNR communication?
It's actually less.
Why is it less?
It's,
He wasn't paying attention.
it's made up for how much the bill is.
The bill was at
Okay.
22,000, whatever. Whatever's remaining will be a user fee. There's a yearly user fee associated with that. When that bill comes, it'll get paid.
Here's the bill if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out real quick. Thanks. I'll just pass that back around with it. Quinn Supply, 4590. Furnace motor, $134.40. $4586. Benjamin C. Hupp, $622.63. Jack Richard Hedges, $731.77. Timesheet was presented. 4585. Jenny Duvall, 4584, $893.14. Jeffrey Corpenning, 4583, $623.25. Barb Salig, 4581, $42.40. Reimbursement for cell phone and mileage. Are there two for her this time? Okay, there's the other one. This is up to this point on the phone. Jenny, this is up to this point on the phone.
It's just.
Are you signing that one, Ben? Back to your games again, Ben? 4587, Barb's the League, $145.16. 4588, Daniel Nelson Van Buren, $621.38. Last one, 4579, Napa Auto Parts, $140.78. Is that the last one, Janet, for sure?
Make a motion to adjourn.